firefighters here say they've seen this type of tragedy too many times already.
2 young children, a 3-year-old and 1-year-old, drowned last night at an apartment complex swimming.
3-year-old boy drowned in a
Shock
swimming pool.
and disbelief after a 4-year-old drowned in a neighbor's swimming pool.
There was a parent present at the time of the incident.
If you type childhood drowning into any browser, it's amazing how many sites there are saying that drowning is the #1 reason why children 1 to 4 die. The #1 reason. Kind of thought, okay, you get over that hump, but then 15 and 19, it's the #2 reason, and particularly for boys. Never thought it would be my passion trying to do something about this, but it's the way that I'm able to get by.
Yes.
At the moment. You're just a different person.
Yeah.
I just kind of have tried to keep it moving and tried to keep it as normal for the kids as possible.
Sure.
And they've had therapy, and I have like 8 therapists.
Yeah.
Excellent documentary
Talking about
feature
your
from the US
experience,
about a very
that's the
serious
way
topic.
that-
The fact that drowning is the #1 cause of accidental death in kids between 1 and 4. The film captured a lot of footage of water, mostly of swimming pools, which was very ominous, as pools are often the place of death for many young children. The interviews in this film were so intimate and painful, showing several parents who experienced guilt for the deaths or disabilities of their children that could have been prevented if they had acted differently. Lots of heartbreaking flashback videos of their kids before their drowning accidents. The soulful music is tastefully done in accordance to the scenes presented. I am glad to see that some of the parents are actively trying to make political and social changes to save children's lives from drowning by encouraging water safety and pool upgrades and swimming lessons to people of all backgrounds. This film is an agent of change, but is also a poignant study of grief when parents lose their children. Great work.
Powerful documentary. That was something. Yeah, I thought it was such an important story. It was something that I did not know about, and as the film points out, too few people think about how prevalent childhood drownings are. You hear about the odd drowning, but I guess not enough. So it's an important movie to get out there, an important message. I thought that the film treated the subject matter with such sensitivity and such deep respect for the survivors and the people who have been through this tragic circumstances. So yeah, I thought that the documentary was very well crafted. It really rode that line quite well of getting the information out there without being too heavy-handed to turn us off. We wanted to hear these stories. We wanted to follow the characters that were introduced in the film, and through their experiences, through their trials, and how they're trying to cope with this, and also the various people who are not quite out of it yet. Through following their stories, we really get a connection to what this film is about, and I thought that was very well done. So it's very well constructed. Like I said at the top, very sensitive material that was treated with a lot of care, devotion, and respect. I thought it was a brilliant documentary, important documentary. I know that there's some friends of mine who are expecting children, and I hope to be able to share this film with them so that they can avoid what these people have been through.
Told this heartfelt story of this child drowning and just how common it is in the United States. It's definitely not a statistic that I was aware of that it's the #1 cause of death in 3 years old and under children. And, it goes back up there as like the second leading cause once they become teenagers. Like, I had no idea. It also covers so many other aspects of swimming and how it's been recreationalized and used, and segregation and just how it's formed our society as a whole and how it's kind of become detrimental and to children and how it's caused so many child drownings and child deaths. This was incredibly informative. You sourced all this information from such reputable sources, and a variety of them as well. I think having this narrator be an individual who's lost a child to drowning also makes a huge impact, as well as conversing with others who have dealt with the same and dealing with individuals with non-fatal drownings as well. It's incredibly informative. It tugs at your heartstrings, hits the ethos, pathos, and logos. And that's really that's what a good documentary does and is built upon. So just an incredible, incredible job.
I thought this was really, really powerful and really impactful. I don't have kids, and I had no idea that drowning was the number one cause in children that young, and just absolutely no idea that it was A, the number one cause, or B, that really it happened that often. And after having watched this, a lot of that, I suppose, makes sense as to why I haven't really heard anything about it. But, it's really, surprising almost that it's not something that's heard more about, and that it hasn't gotten more, not even necessarily more media coverage, but there aren't more regulations around it, and that is just very surprising to me. I remember learning how to swim when I was really young. I live in Southern California, so going to the beach was going to be a thing when I was a kid, and I remember learning how to swim when I was really young, and it was at a community pool with lifeguards, and I was in swim classes for a number of years. It wasn't just 1 year, it was several years actually. And I remember me and my brother at really young ages and being taught the importance of, this is what we do around water, this is what we don't do around water. It doesn't matter if it's a pool, it doesn't matter if it's anything else. This is the same practices that you do no matter what. And even that, though, I was old enough to remember, so I don't know if I just wasn't around water before that, but the way that this was all laid out for us was, as an audience member, so amazing to watch. And so, not that it's an amazing thing, but sharing your story, sharing your pain, and being with these other families and seeing their pain and their struggles, even if their outcomes were different, and showing that it's not just one outcome that happens. That I think one of the doctors said that every drowning, whether it's a fatal drowning or not, has a severe and serious impact on the family. And seeing examples of that and seeing these stories, seeing why all of these parents are willing to wade through their pain and share their pain with so many other people so publicly, so vigorously, so intensely, so passionately, is impressive and it's inspiring and it's it's amazing. And it was, like I said, it was really powerful. It was really raw. All of these emotions, all of these, the reason why these parents are fighting so hard for reform and fighting so hard for change and fighting so hard to do whatever that they can is so raw. Like their drive behind it is raw. It's powerful. It is emotion. It is grief. It is fire. It is all of those things. And this is such a beautiful way to share that story and to share it in a, as widely spread as possible to try and affect that change.
Very emotional, tragic, so sad, and somehow also uplifting. There's a bunch to unpack from this film. It is striking, and they show incredible statistics, and they share so much pain in the different testimonials. I think it's commendable how they showcase the power of parents to affect change, to get justice, and mostly to avoid this type of incidents happening to more families. Their quest to educate people and making the responsible accountable, like the camping trips or school trips, where they should really make sure that kids know how to swim properly, and their shared responsibility for having kids learn how to swim and be confident in water situations, being rivers or lakes or just a pool. And since this is a very popular activity for kids, also how it is very important for parents to be actively supervising the activities, or when the parents are not around, having certified lifesavers to look after the kids. It was also very emotional to see the efforts of this particular family to give their kid a normal life after having an incident like this, and the quest for more health medical options anywhere in the world to have progress with the situation. And what struck me the most maybe is the terrifying truth about the numbers of children dying as a result of having a drowning incident. But because they didn't die immediately, they are not tied to this drowning incident. So it was just strikingly painful to watch this, because that's what they say in the film. That doesn't help the cause of having more policies and rules or regulations towards pools, public pools, camping trips. Yep, it was just so insightful. It was very important to see the parents' testimonials, and I think it was very well researched, and I am very glad I watched this.
Oh, what a difficult piece, and what a vitally important piece. Really well-crafted storytelling, and about this nearly silent epidemic. It was brave and honest. The interviews, I thought, were so moving to put a face and awareness to this. The photos, the home videos, and the honoring of these beautiful children really just brought their legacy back into the present, so that any parent or individual with children in their life watching it can see their role in this and can have to go through the deep dive of empathy to see that this could happen to them, and put themselves in those parents' places. And hopefully through this implication and this honest rawness, that this epidemic will will slow, and hopefully no more children have to lose their life due to us not taking the risk of swimming seriously, and maybe bringing more education to this for all children. It just really entrenched the viewer into the emotional ride, the roller coaster, the nightmare that these parents go through. And I just really think that's the most authentic way to wake up the public. And through the variety of mediums, including the self-recorded interviews from those days, the interviews with experts in the field, with healthcare practitioners, with the parents themselves, was really brilliantly put together and crafted. Difficult piece, but as I said, so important.